Good evening, Lead Bullets for Life here, and we're at the reloading bench again. And this video is going to go out to Broke Loader. He just bought himself a LEE Value 4 hole turret press at a very, very good price, I must add. And he's put it to good use using his 45 caliber cast bullets in long colt. A little few tips that I learned using the LEE4 hole turret press. Now understand something, this is not a perfect press. It has its idiosyncrasies as well as any other press. But if with a little bit of attention to detail, you can make this thing a really smooth loader. Let's get started. Okay, so I've made the liberty of loading up a few shells here. So they're going to be 3-7 magnum. So what I do is I'll go ahead and load the shell up. I will size it and decap it. Now what I'll do is when I bring it on the downstroke here, I'll remove it and I will place the primer in the primer cup while the primer cup is put in the up position. And the reason for that is that I want gravity to work in my favor. So place the shell back inside the shell foot and give it a firm tug. Then your next stroke is going to be the expander stroke. Alright, so now the primer cup is back up in the up position again. So I'm going to go ahead and charge it. And then what I'm going to do, place it back into the shell foot holder, push a little bit forward a little bit, just to make sure that that primer's in there. And at the same time, you're putting tension on the shell so it's not moving. Then keep your finger on the base of the shell while you're riding it up to the seating die. From there, place your finger back on the shell foot again and use your crimp die to crimp. So now you're back into the loading and decapping stage again. So again, decap. Now understand, see how it's kind of hanging up a little bit? That's why you need your fingers in there. And I forgot to put the cap on, or the primer on. Alright, so grab your shell and push it forward a little bit. This way your shell is not cockeyed. If it's cockeyed and moves off its kilter, it's going to cause damage to your primers. So you keep your finger there to keep it pressed up against the shell holder. And from there, keep your finger on it, and then go ahead and do the expander. From here, again, place the primer cup on the up position in the shell holder. Charge your case. Place your shell back in. Go a little bit, tug it forward a little bit just to make sure that primer's in there. And again, you're keeping the shell steady. It's not flopping around with a charge in it. Place your finger back into the base again, and seat it and crimp it. Alright, so what's going to happen is that you're going to get little bumps and nicks and knocks in it. That's because it's not really designed tight. It's pretty loose, so vibration will cause the shell to kilter a little bit, and then causing crumpled cases or a bullet going sideways, like this, once it goes to the top, because it's not lined up straight. Alright, here's another bird's eye view. So place the primer, grab a shell, and see how it doesn't go in all the way. You gotta kind of there we go. Hold the shell from the bottom of the shell foot, prime, give it a nice little tug. From there you're going to expand the bell mouth, charge it, and make sure that your primer arm is on the up position. From here, place your shell back into the shell holder again, push it forward a little bit, and right now it's steady. See, it's not going to fall over, so you're not going to knock it over with all the powder charge in it. Alright, place your bullet firmly into the case and keep your finger on the bottom, upstroke again with the finger on the bottom of the shell, and here's your crimp right here. Alright, so here we go. This way, guys, it'll reduce any kind of lost primers, lost shells, spilled powder, and these little tips here just make the machine run a little bit more efficient. Alright, so here we go. Alright guys, so the purpose, again, for placing your finger on the bottom of the shell is because if you look, there's nothing supporting the shell. It's pretty much loose. And you can see it's wobbling, okay? And so, again, it's very important to keep that in there nice and tight until you can ram your bullet up into the seating die and crimping die as well. Alright, primer. And so look at how it's wobbling in there, okay? It's not loose, it's not really tight. So place your finger there, keep it tight. And prime, expand, charge, forward stroke, keep the shell tight, push pressure on the bullet into the opening. Again, finger on the bottom, crimp, and finished product. Okay guys, another thing I want to mention too is when you're loading like this, if you look, this is not in the decapping and depriming stage. So basically what happened is possibly I forgot to crimp. And there we go. Bam. So again, keep an eye on that. And this is how you tell which step you're at. When you don't see the step you're looking at or the dies you're looking at, there's something wrong. Either you fail to pay attention and you got distracted, and that'll cause you to lose step. But what will happen though is your machine will remind you of what you did or didn't do. So you see a step and they're like, wait a minute, it's time to crimp, it's time to size and decap, but it's on the crimping stage. Why is that? Check your shell again, you go, oh, didn't crimp it. Alright, we're almost done here, guys. About a dozen more to go. Alright, 3 more to go. And sometimes, guys, when you are going too fast, if you look, you overshot it. And that'll cause also to have your shells or your loaded ammo go into kilter as well. And then all you have to do is just rotate. Lift up your hand a little bit, rotate, and start again. Alright, so primer, shell, upstroke. Now, see how you saw that? How it just kind of binds up a little bit. It's really loose, guys. The shell's really loose, and the turret's a little loose too, so you got to kind of guide it in a little bit every now and then. And we have like, guys, we have one more shell, one more primer, and I didn't lose any primers or any shells. And so let's go ahead and put that primer in here. So guys, I want to show you something else right now too as well. Right, size and prime and expand. Okay, so as you see, I'm pushing forward on this primer to make it seat properly, and the reason for that is not just to seat it properly, but understand I'm using small rifle magnum primers, so I need to have these seated as much as they can go in order to get good ignition. So that's another reason why I do it this way. Understand, guys, this is not a tutorial, it's the way I do things. Alright, so here we go. Seat. And crimp. And guys, that is it. Value turret press. Value turret press, guys. Doesn't mean it's cheap. Okay? It's no Dillon, no Lyman for sure, but it's effective. And Lee knew what they were doing when they made this. The materials are strong enough to handle the loading process. Okay? They're not, there's a few stamp parts here. But other than that, you don't need a whole lot of iron on here to make this to load ammunition the way you like it. It's not, you know, I had a few of my smaller calibers crinkled, like the 380, and some of the 32 shorts crinkled. And having that extra step where you keep your finger on there nice and firm will help that shell go in straighter, size properly, and you'll save your cases for many reloading uses. Alright guys, a little bit for life here. Thanks for joining me tonight. And we'll see you at the range or here at the reloading bench. You take care, have a good evening. Bye for now.